Hey, what is up, guys? Viper for Life here, and I need to stress that I'm sorry that there hasn't been many videos lately, even though apparently there was an episode of Viper Racing that uploaded yesterday that I didn't know about. And then I looked, and there's one more episode left. And you're probably like, well, why hasn't there been anything for 3 weeks outside of Viper Racing? And the truth of that is a lot of that stuff was actually pre-recorded, if not everything was pre-recorded outside of the look around my room bit, which might have been pre pre or sorry, yeah, pre-recorded and scheduled about a day after I recorded it. But all of that was scheduled, so if the date sounded off in the video, now you know why. But yeah, so all of that was re-recorded stuff, and long story short, I've run out of content, or I've run out of scheduled videos that are in the queue to be uploaded outside of Viper Racing, which has one more episode left, as I said. So I'm working on getting more scheduled content up right now. The speed art seems to be pretty popular. Viper Racing is really popular, so that's a very good thing. Yeah, the speed art takes. It's now going to take even longer because I got a better program than when I started with that. It's called Krita, and I got a beta version, which is even better than the version I had because the version I had was not very good. Well, it was good at the start, and then it started to mess up, so I'm not using it anymore. Yeah, so oh hey, look at that, my Viper clock. But yeah, so not gonna be not gonna be using GIMP anymore. That's what I used to use. I'm not gonna use it anymore. It's not as good. And the videos afterwards, after or the images after the video, they were good, but they're a lot better now in vector, and that's what Krita is rather than the Rastar that GIMP is. This is a much better program. So that's why there hasn't been as many videos as of late, even though it's been once once a week for the most part, and I can't upload daily because it takes a little bit longer to save and a little bit longer to edit, and I just don't have the schedule to do that. So it'll continue to be once a week with my schedule with the pre-scheduled stuff. But I'm also working on that, and back to get back around to the speed art. It's gonna take even longer now because I'm striving to do more detail in my renders, and that takes even more time than it did before. Before I could crank it out in about 40 minutes. It now takes hours, and not like an hour and a half, like 4 hours, and that's with cars that aren't even from scratch that I did because I it's a long story with that, but basically I have about 20 cars that I can continue from where I left off on, and it still takes me a good 4 to 6 hours to do them. So from now on, those speed art, speed draw, whatever, they'll be split up into parts so that they're 17-minute parts, so that they're long but also enjoyable and not overbearing as they would be anyway. So and because it takes that long, it basically takes me an entire day to do it, depending on when I get up. But yeah, it takes me a very long time to do it, and editing might not take as long. In fact, it really won't take that long because I'm not even talking through it. But again, it takes a long time to record, and there are other things I can record that don't take nearly as much time to do. So we will be focusing on those more speed drawable. That'll come later down the line when it comes to getting a batch out that I'll schedule for release. That'll be much later down the line, just simply because of how long it takes me to do one episode. And I'll be live streaming, hopefully. I've had Viper Racing for a while now. I've even had it on my channel before, but it's funny because it's a game from 1998, so it's older than me. Yet it doesn't run as good as it should for a game that's that old. Yet I'm sure the coding for the original is all clunky and isn't very optimized. But apparently, astonishingly, there is still a patch for it, and it's almost 18 years old now. Maybe if that, it's 18 years old now. An 18-year-old game, and it's got a patch from the last year from the community. The community is astonishing. That it's amazing, astounding even that they did an update like that, and it runs so much better. So There's a chance I'll be live streaming it. Backup plan though would be continue Viper Racing or the Viper Cup on through that game. And it'd be a little bit different, focusing a bit more on my career because there's sort of a career mode. It's not like anything I've seen in other games. But yeah, so that's what would be happening. And there's no 10th episode for Viper Cup on R Factor, sadly. Reason for that is I had gotten rid of the program a little while ago. The program takes a good 10 to 20 gigs off my computer, and at the time I didn't really have enough space to continue recording it. So, and other games, so I had to stop. And I'm gonna have to switch hands here. Oh, my left hand. But yeah, so that's not gonna continue on R Factor for a little while, purely because of how big that program is. It's incredible. It's like it's not as big as TF2, but it's still, you don't underestimate the size of that game. Not once, not ever. It's amazingly big, and so I had to get rid of it back then so I can make room for other things that I was doing at that time. So the ninth episode will be the last episode for the R Factor Viper Cup. I'll try to continue the series on Viper Racing. I don't know how long that'll go because there's not that many tracks. I'm gonna try and get a few more tracks on there. Don't know if it'll go through the career mode. I only got the patch yesterday and I was messing around with it. So that's gonna be a little tricky. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens with that series. And Trackmania will be making a return. You guys probably don't know this, but the way I did Trackmania was I'd stitch a lot of replays together. In fact, that's how I did Viper Racing or Viper Cup as well, as I got the replays, because if I tried to record a game live, it'd be really slow. So I figured out that if I just record the replays after the fact, then it won't bother me about how lame the FPS is in game. That's basically how I did it through Trackmania. Is I do a bunch of races and then stitch all the replays together into one recording. And that took a lot of replays. I have to admit, that took way more than I thought it would take. Because I know Trackmania is a lot of short races, but some of them I swear aren't even 30 seconds long. So you really do have to go through a lot of races just to get a decent amount of content, and that's fine. I accept that, but that means probably a little bit today and more tomorrow. I'll be just grinding that game, trying to get more recordings of Trackmania for YouTube, and also because it takes so much stitching to make one YouTube video, I run out of tracks pretty quickly because I'm going through, you got the red, the green, the blue, the red, and the black flag. It's probably not in that order, but that's basically what you have, and it's pretty easy to go through an entire section just for one video. So that's not brilliant by any means. However, with that being said, even though it's not brilliant, it does give me some content, and I'm just gonna have to live with it. So, other news outside of YouTube, really, my podcast has just hit 50,000 feed hits, which is which is amazing, considering the fact that it's only been a year at best since I've been doing this. So that's good. And there's other things aside, but the real reason I needed to do a vlog was for a recent development. Outside of the Viper King of the Ring event, which I've been covering. I need to cover more of it on my blog. Been busy, haven't really been able to get all of the recent stuff, but I need to do that. But the development is GoFundMe, and me and Erica have a GoFundMe set up for better gaming equipment, so I can provide more gaming content to you guys and better podcast content to you guys as well. And then I can go to more events, bring you more coverage of different events, of different games, whatever. Go to E3, Gamescom, maybe VidCon, who knows? But that starts with getting better equipment, and I need you guys' help with that. So I'll make sure to put the link in the description down below, no annotation, because YouTube doesn't like annotation. So, who would have figured that? So, yeah, but that's what's been going on. We have a GoFundMe. We need about $4,000 for all the equipment that we need, and that'll be gaming equipment, podcasting equipment, maybe better recording software, maybe a better mic as well. And that in turn will go towards a better desk out, not in my room, because that's where I record and do everything, really, is from comfort of my own room. So I mean, the TV is right back there. Not a very good TV, but hey, it still works, and it's only buggy every now and then. So, oh, and also to get an Xbox One so I can bring you guys Forza Motorsport 7 and Horizon 3, even though I'm very late to that party. I don't want to be late to the Motorsport 7 party. So, yeah, that's what's been going on. We need you guys' help. Erica will be getting or continuing her subscription to School of Game Design, among other things. Not that it's too her campaign isn't too different from mine, better gaming equipment, stuff like that. The only difference for the most part is, outside of her audience, is the School of Game Design, which is very cool because hey, she wants to make games. So who wouldn't want that? And hey, maybe she'd live stream making games. That'd be cool. But again, not all that future starts with getting the money to get the gaming equipment. And me and Science Her Way, Erica Wagner, we need your guys' help with that. So if you could please donate, any donation is appreciated. It doesn't, big or small, it's that one step closer to the goal of providing you guys with what you deserve. So thank you for watching this video. It's very out of the blue. I'm sure the last vlog was a few months ago. Well, I might do more of these just for the sake of doing a vlog, keeping you guys up to date with what's been going on. So anyway, like I've been saying, thank you guys for watching the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Those videos will be coming. It takes a little bit of time, but it's worth it. So anyway, thank you for watching. See you in the next one.